everybody, welcome to 2-day of this Yin Yoga challenge. I'm so excited to have you here today. We will get started in a puppy pose, so go ahead and set up. Get into your tabletop position. Walk your hands slightly forward in front of you, and start to bring your chest to the mat, pressing your forehead down into the mat. Making sure your glutes are up in the air. This is very similar to a child's pose. Instead of sitting on the hips though, our glutes are up into the sky. Our chest is down onto the mat. And if you're looking for more sensation, you can walk your fingertips even further up your mat to feel that stretch in the upper back. Taking the time to really ease into this posture, using your breath to guide you through this pose and throughout this entire practice. Feeling this in the upper back, maybe even in the side body, maybe even into the hips. We're all gonna feel it in different places depending on where we carry stress and physical tension in our bodies. We are just about halfway there. Less than a minute to go. Taking the time here to set an intention for your practice if you haven't already. An intention could be a mantra. It could be just one word, something that you're looking to call into your life. So claiming that now. Letting that guide you through your practice today. Slowly and gently starting to lift your body up, walking your hands back to your body. Maybe taking some movement here, maybe taking some cat-cows, finding that mind-body connection. Maybe taking a counter pose, bringing those hands behind you and stretching. Nice back bend. Coming back to your seated posture, coming into Firelog pose. So we're going to start by putting our right leg on top of our left. So putting your right foot on top of that left knee, trying to square those hips as much as possible. If your leg isn't going fully down, you could always use a block if you have one available, or a pillow, and place it underneath for a little bit of a cushion to support you here. This might feel like enough sensation just being here and trying to square those hips, but if you're looking for a little bit more, you can start to walk those hands in front of you. Bring yourself down onto the forearms, maybe even walking those hands further in front of you, bringing your forehead to the mat, finding your own unique edge here. In Yin Yoga, we focus on finding our own unique edge. As I mentioned, we are all different. We're all at different spots within our flexibility. And with Yin Yoga, we do hold these postures for longer periods of time. So you don't want to push yourself too much in these poses, because with time, gravity will do the work for you, and you will let go on your own. So finding your own unique edge is really important. And we also focus on staying still as we can. When we stay still, we really get into that connective tissue, which has our bones, our ligaments, joints. So we want to stay as still as we can. And then lastly, again, like I mentioned, we hold for time, because when we hold for time and apply that pressure onto that connective tissue, that's when our body truly lets go. So keeping that in mind as we hold these postures. Feeling this into the right hip flexor, into the right hip. Breathing in and out through your nose. We are almost there. Noticing if your body has let go a little bit more as we've held for time here. Maybe it's gotten a little bit easier with each breath that you take. Slowly beginning to ease out of this posture. Maybe taking some gentle movement, maybe just moving the legs here. Maybe taking some windshield wipers. Always good to take some movement in between these static poses. And we're gonna take it right to the other side. So this time, our right leg is underneath, and then we're gonna square that left hip on top. This side might feel different, and that's totally normal. Again, using props here as needed, or maybe if you're more flexible, coming forward onto the forearms, maybe even on, walking those hands even further, finding your edge. Deep belly breaths into that left hip flexor and left glute. Imagining your oxygen going into those areas that feel really tight. On those exhales, letting it all go, giving yourself permission to no longer hold on to the stress and tension in the body. Just about halfway there. Fun fact is this posture, Firelog pose, is what got me into yoga a long time ago. I had looked up a YouTube video to decompress your hips, and I did this posture and I could barely cross my legs over. They were definitely not touching like they are now. So just a reminder that with practice and with time, you can become more flexible. Less than a minute to go. Continuing to breathe. When you feel discomfort, don't hold your breath. Keep breathing. Remembering these moments are only temporary here. Starting to ease out of the posture very slowly. You don't want to jump out of this pose. That might be really uncomfortable for the connective tissue. And taking some movement. Then headed on to your bellies. Laying on your hands for a moment, just a moment of breath. And then putting those hands right underneath your shoulders. Pushing up into your Sphinx posture. So lifting that chest as much as you can. Feeling this nice back bend in the low back. Maybe in the side body. Just noticing where you're feeling the sensations. This is a great and energetic heart opening posture. Hearts to the sky, chin up. Deep belly breaths. If you're really feeling this into the low back, and you do have low back pain, it could be because of tight hamstrings. Our entire back of our body is called the posterior chain. And it starts at the back of the neck to the bottom of the calves. It's all connected, so if anything's out of alignment, it's because of something else probably being tight. So just keeping that in mind. If you haven't already, maybe closing your eyes in this posture. Going internal. Are more than halfway there. Remembering these moments are only temporary. And the results that we get from doing yoga postures is so rewarding, so sticking with it. Staying still, finding that slow movement here in this practice, as we don't get to slow down too much in life. We do have a lot of yang, whether you exercise, whether you cook a lot, whether you clean and you work. We're always active, we're always moving, and a lot of times we don't give ourselves the permission to slow down. So this is your ticket to slow down. And your invitation to see what it feels like to slow down. So checking in with the mind, checking in with the body. We're almost there. Last final breaths. Beginning to slowly roll down onto your mat, resting your forehead into your hands again. Just feeling the effects of this posture here. Next, we're going to do a spinal twist and chest opener. So you can stay here. Again, putting your hands exactly where they were for Sphinx. We're going to bring our right leg over our left, leaving those hands planted on the mat, and maybe using that right hand and bringing it onto your back. Keeping your left hand exactly where it was when you started. Getting into the side body here. Getting into the spine. Even feeling this into the hip flexor. right hand back to your mat, letting your right leg come back. Resting here for a moment. Taking it to the other side. So hands back underneath the shoulders. This time, bringing your left leg over the right, leaving your right hand on the mat, maybe moving your left hand. Touch your back. Taking nice long deep breaths here. Breathing into that shoulder blade, breathing into the chest. Out of the posture, bringing your hand back to the mat and your leg back, resting here, your breath, just feeling the effects of this posture. And when you're ready, pushing yourself back up and just flipping to the other side for our final and last resting pose, Shavasana. Bring your hands up to the sky for a more receiving mode. Coming back to your intention if you set one, and reconnecting with that and checking in with the body and checking in with the mind. Starting to wiggle the toes and fingers, bringing some life back into the body. And when you're ready, coming back to seated posture. Bring your hands up overhead. Bring your hands to heart center. Thanking yourself for this beautiful practice. From my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you for the challenge tomorrow.